Hey guys, Huzzy bringing you another video. Now, welcome to Game 2 of the League of Legends World Championship Final 2020. Covered Game 1. If you've not watched that, go back and watch that. But this is Damwon Gaming versus Suning. I don't know if they have like gaming or esports at the end of it, but anyway. So yeah, new match. Team comps going through them. So Damwon is keeping with the Ornn because it went so well last game. Evelynn, however, instead of Graves, Lucian mid, with then a Aphelios and Thresh in the bot lane. And the enemy team, Fiora, which, that's cool, should actually do quite well against an Ornn. A Rengar in the jungle, Syndra in mid, and with a Jhin and Leona bot lane. So last game, I gave the advantage to team comp to Damwon. They got every dragon and everything like that. Team comp-wise this game, I'd actually probably give it to Suning, but this is... Some people may not be surprised. I don't rate Lucian mid very heavily, so that's the main reason that I'm going to actually give this to Suning. Naturally, a Syndra is a great 1v1 mage, and, you know, the early game will slightly go in Lucian's favour, but if he doesn't get really far ahead, which in World Finals, again, you saw how passive the game was, I don't think he's going to get really far ahead. He's naturally going to get outscaled by a Leona in a 1v1. So, and also Damwon's magic damage actually isn't that impressive. It's an Evelynn, who's an assassin AP champion. Obviously, Ornn does do a little bit of AP, but not like an AP mage. So Evelynn can do AP damage to one person, not everybody usually. So I actually think they could be lacking AP damage, and Suning can just build a lot of armor, and that's going to counter them quite heavily. And if you can just take care of an Evelynn with a Rengar or something like that, then yeah, I think this is Suning's. But it will probably be, do they let the dragons get out of control again? The matchup in top lane, though, it's cool to see Fiora. Fiora versus Ornn. Fiora can do very well in the 1v1 versus Ornn because she has a natural counter to his ultimate. If she times her riposte well, her W well, she can completely ignore his ultimate and even stun him with it. So that is good to see. But we saw, by the way, a level 1 on the Lucian, which is actually a pretty big deal, by the way. Making him have to use corrupting early, lose health early, is actually ruining these early levels that he should be having pressure. And that's really good for Syndra. Anything worth noting, top lane, the biggest thing I would say is Fiora running Fleet footwork. She's not running Conqueror, she's running Fleet, most likely due to Ornn actually has surprising poke in lane and harass and trading. Having Fleet would actually give Fiora a more sustain. So that's actually not that bad at all. But obviously you would expect this Ornn to be buying a Bramble Vest pretty early on. But yeah, so also, by the way, Lucian went back. He has used teleport already. Meanwhile, Thresh may be getting caught to a Rengar. He flashes instantly, doesn't want to get involved in that. And yeah, Lucian's picked himself up a Cull, which to me, again, that's not good news. Like, I can't stress enough. I really think for Lucian to be effective as a mid laner, he needs to be really ahead in the early game. Cull is not an item you buy if you want to get ahead in the early game. It's an investment item. So he's already conceding the fact that I'm going to invest into mid game. That's weird to me. Like, he probably will have to go the tier build at least this game, so he has some mid to late game scaling. But yeah, I just don't get why you would pick Lucian in this instance, but that's just me. Again, everyone has their own opinions and everything, and that's just mine. Meanwhile, Syndra doing okay damage, but did teleport back into lane and is already half mana, so you do have to be careful about that. Nice stun by, obviously, the Fiora, and yeah, she has a couple ways of dealing with Ornn as well, so I think she'll do quite well. You know, Ornn, by the way, already having 2 cloth armors, but a potential gank is in the area. Fiora might have to go all in on this Ornn because she is going to die anyway, but maybe she can just escape, and that is good enough. But Ornn with the double cloth armor will be going into that Bramble, which is the item. Oh, what are you doing? Okay. She gets a ward down. Oh, excuse me. She gets a ward down just to see if Evelynn was sticking around, and she was. And that will probably be that for now. Evelynn might stop her base, but may decide against it. Okay, she has gone back. And that will leave now top lane to be back in a 1v1. Wouldn't be surprised if Ornn goes back. He needs to get health and mana and everything in between. And yeah, Syndra doing pretty good. Running that Dark Seal with the Corrupting. Lovely combo there because, again, Corrupting Potion actually makes your healing potions do percentage-wise more in healing. And Corrupting is obviously the best potion you can get. So overall, really good value there. Potential gank coming in. Evelyn with a lantern into a double, potential double kill. The Jin's going to flash away. Leona's flashing away. And Rengar is nearby. No kill from Damwon in a big play. And that is most likely, well, what I would be is surprised. I'm surprised the Evelyn is ganking as much as they are. Last game, obviously, Damwon Canyon played Graves and didn't gank at all. And it's like, oh, I'm not ganking at all last game. I'm going to gank a lot this game. You know, Evelyn is known to kind of become Evelyn when she hits level 6. And obviously she's close. She's level 5. She's keeping relatively even farm with a Rengar. But I am surprised she's already ganked twice, 2/3 times already. Where if she wasn't ganking, she may have been level 6 by now. Oh my god, Dragon! Hell yeah. Okay, Rengar maybe learnt from last game. If I was one of the coaches on Suning, one of the things in between these two games would be, you cannot ignore the dragons. And straight away, the Rengar is doing a solo dragon, which is really good. Also worth noting, Evelyn as a jungler, not really a solo dragon jungler, where Rengar can... Obviously, last game, Graves can. Yeah, Evelyn, not so much. She's a bit too squishy in the early game. So that's a really good trait. And that's actually Suning's, well, not first dragon in World's Final, because they did get one Elder Dragon, but that's one of their first that is their first elemental dragon of the World Final so far. But I would say it is confirming to me that Lucian is doing the Muramana tier build, by the way, because he's got that pickaxe. Usually what early game champions do, or champions that don't want to give up too much lane pressure, is if you buy a tier, you are literally giving up your lane pressure. Tier gives you no damage whatsoever, and it's, you know, it's letting you scale. So what a lot of these champions do is that they accept the game is probably going to last a while, 20, 25 minutes minimum. So they know they're eventually going to get Mirror Mana, so they'll buy Pickaxe to give them some lane strength, and then they'll upgrade or get the tier after, or they'll just straight away upgrade to the Man Immune. They'll skip buying the tier because it just makes you too weak. You need actually to have proper AD combat stats to have an early game. So yeah, that does confirm for me that the Lucian is most likely getting that Mirror Mana eventually. And yeah, obviously Ornn, we mentioned, already has that Bramble, which is a natural Fiora counter, if for those are wondering why. Fiora's a 1v1 duelist champion that heals a buttload. She's got Fleet Footwork this game, which is healing her. She has her ultimate, which is a heal if she manages to complete it all. It's a massive counter for Fiora to not be able to heal as much on a 1v1 opponent. So Bramble, pretty much no matter what you're playing, is probably the rush item against Fiora, unless you think you can just straight up kill a Fiora in a 1v1 by you building damage as well, which you have to be pretty ballsy in order to do that. Or you playing a more aggressive champion, you might want to go into the Avarice Blade or Executioner's Calling, whichever it's called. But yeah. It's good to see, though, that obviously, well, good to see. These players know what they're doing, so naturally they're going to be building the correct item build. Rengar ulting. Really early ultimate, actually. I don't know why he's ulting. He's looking for the enemy bot lane. He's going to engage in 2v1. Jhin ultimate comes through, and that's going to be that. I'm not sure if he accidentally pressed his ultimate. It does happen, because he ulted in his own jungle near his wolves. And then, yeah, that was odd. I don't know if he thought Evelyn was nearby or something, but he's also going to pick up a Scuttle Crab. But worth noting, Evelyn with a slight XP advantage. She's level 7, Rengar level 6. I'd presume he's like one camp away from level 7 himself. Wait, what the hell? He's running... What? Is Tank Rengar? He's running Cinderhulk Rengar. Alright, that's a bit weird. Anyway, Evelyn's going to take the Rift Herald early, which is obviously something that junglers normally do. But yeah, Tank Rengar. So Tank Rengar, by the way, used to be a thing. Not in jungle, though. It used to be top lane. And Rengar basically became unkillable, with also doing decent damage. I haven't seen Tank Rengar in a long time, but they're doing it here. That's really weird. I wonder what his... I'm actually interested to see what his item build is going to be. So the AD carry for Suning has a 4-1 record on Jhin with a KDA of 14 with a gold difference at 15 of plus 344 to his lane opponent. So overall pretty good. Jhin is this guy. I like Jhin. He's maybe even my favourite AD carry nowadays. It used to be Ezreal, but I liked Kleptomancy Ezreal because I just found it fun. And obviously that has gone. So yeah, not bad at all. Fiora obviously buying a Tiamat. You'll probably still go for Ravenous Hydra first item, because you still are getting healing technically, and Fiora still needs to heal in order to 1v1 people. There's the Manamune complete, by the way, for Lucian. Not really sure, again, because we have to have it on mute. The casters are pointing something out. They're just pointing out vision. That in bot lane, blue team, which is Damwon, has 3 control wards blocking off bot lane. That's a lot of control wards. And they are obviously a little bit worried about potential ganks and pressure going down there. So they are just completely covering it. They've got one at the River Bush, the Tri Bush, and also Evelyn's own red buff. They are warding with blues. Control wards. That's maybe too many. Like, that's a lot of gold, obviously, to put into just vision down there. Maybe 2 of them would do. Maybe not all 3. But better be safe than sorry, I guess. Probably, what is it? Infinity Edge Rush for Ophelios? Probably. Lucian nearly completing his cull, by the way, already. That's a pretty early cull. Evelyn looking for a gank. And the game has been paused. There's not a lot we can do about this. I guess I could fast forward. We could actually fast forward. Let's have a little looky. If I press this, 5 seconds. 5 seconds. 5. Oh, we're going to keep on going. Game pause. Again, don't know why the game's paused. These videos of mine are very high production quality, obviously. But this is the way that we have to do it. Again, unfortunately, maybe hopefully next Worlds, right, it will be a bit nicer. There's a moon. Why are they showing the moon? Yeah, hopefully they're a bit nicer. And it's nice that I can do these, but maybe we can have the replay files next Worlds or something, or be allowed to co-stream. I don't know. Also, good to see a crowd, by the way. You know, all of us watching sporting events this year are very used to not seeing crowds. And there we go. But yeah, they're in the Bird's Nest Stadium in China, which was the Olympic stadium that they built. And it's cool to see. You know, I do watch a fair amount of sport, as some people know. And yeah, not seeing crowds has been a bit of a bummer, but at least we're getting events and stuff. But anyway, top lane relatively even, Ornn with a slight advantage early, which, you know, can go either way, I guess. Ornn does do a lot of damage, as we mentioned a few times. Evelyn and Rengar literally even pegging. Evelyn does get the kill. She delayed her ultimate actually quite a long time and will get the Jhin. But Rengar, oh my god, this guy, he's learnt from game 1. Look what he's doing. He's straight on the dragon. Enemy is going for the tower and kills. And honestly, this seems to be kind of at the moment like a kind of reverse from game 1. Su Ning is going for dragons, and Damwon's going for kills and like pressure. It's literally like the game has swapped. And obviously, Damwon won the last game, because I would say they won it a lot because of dragons. And meanwhile, there's the replay that we can kind of... Oh, you can't see it. I'm blocking it. Again, apologies. There's, again, nothing I can do. Anyway, top lane, all going back, this probably will make the Fiora be able to at least tie the farm up in there. They're showing some crowd members just chilling in the audience, and it's all what I would say about showing crowds. I'm pretty sure most crowd things nowadays, like, you know, masks are required, and most people or some people are like, I'm not wearing a mask, so they put it underneath their chin, and when they're like, wait, I'm on camera, zoop, and they just put it up. Just wear the mask. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But anyway, Ornn's got his Sunfire completed. Obviously, very good cost-effective item, and as we said for last game, Sunfire and Abyssal Mask are the 2 most optimal items for Ornn in terms of cost effectiveness with his passive, the upgrade of items. So that's why he generally gets those 2 as his primary first items in the game, because by the time he's got both of them, he'll start being able to upgrade both of them as well. Fiora, though, as we mentioned, yes, has gone for her Ravenous Hydra, which again is just a natural Fiora item. She doesn't really ever build the other one, Titanic, by the way, for those that may be wondering, because of the healing. Fiora does want that healing involved. And yeah, the game itself, again, as we mentioned earlier, it's World's Final. It's going to be slow pace early. We're not expecting 10 kills at 10 minutes. It's millions of dollars on the line. And that is why, again, I'm a bit surprised to see the Lucian mid. And yes, I am aware he scales better with the Muramana build, but he's still not a late game champion. And when these games are, I would say, minimum going to be minimum half an hour long every single game. If a game is pre-half an hour, I'd be surprised. I'm just surprised you're going to see something more early game known as Lucian. By the way, even in bot lane, I'd be surprised to see Lucian at the moment. it's more mid to late game centric meta, and even because it's Worlds, everybody plays passive. So I'm just very surprised that is just the way to explain it. Again, Rengar going tank Rengar it's interesting me. I'm going to be honest. Like, he's probably going to go Black Cleaver next item to give him some form of damage, and it's still giving him health, so he's surprisingly tanky. Ornn is crafting an item. He is crafting his Ninja Tabby, making him even tankier to the Fiora, so don't see this Ornn really dying yet. It doesn't mean he can't die, by the way. A Fiora, I would say, probably can kill an Ornn later, but yeah, with Fleet Footwork as well, I don't know. Fleet Footwork's for lane phase, by the way, because, you know, Ornn is a lane bully, surprisingly, even as a tank. So it's basically giving Fiora a better lane phase, but Conqueror would be better for late game, or mid to late game in killing an Ornn. So I'm going to be interested. You know, I don't know, again, I don't know the outcome of this game. What I would say is, obviously, no spoilers overall, but I know who's won Worlds, obviously, but I don't know specifically what happened in all the games. I kind of avoided that. Because these videos would be interesting to me. So Damwon in the early game having the gold advantage. As we said earlier, this game does seem to be a role reversal of last game. Last game, Su Ning had the gold lead early, but Damwon was taking the dragons. It's just flipped. Big first potential fight of the game happening. Fiora going in. Oh, nice chain CC on the Evelynn. Ornn ultimate coming through. Double knock up. The enemy team is in the area. Syndra holding the Lucian on the side. Jhin is also here. Rengar re-engaging with his ultimate. Lucian now finally getting into the fight. Lucian doing quite a lot of damage, but not dead Syndra yet. That actually took a long time to get the kill. Enemy team might be able to re-engage. Fiora actually doing a lot of damage. Exhaust has come through with the Aphelios. Rengar looking for the Lucian. Does get the Lucian. Fiora does get the slow with a W. Nice little E-bowler from the Rengar, and that will be the fight. And most likely, either they'll return to Rift Herald, or I would actually wager they're all going to go back with the gold that they all just got, and then go for that dragon again. So dragon, to me, and this could be a conversation point, are dragons too important? Arguably, I would say yes. But last game, the game, dragon. This game so far has been some dragons. Or objectives, Rift Herald. You know, maybe these objectives are too strong for their own good, because that's where all these fights are going to happen. For such a passive game, the only fights we've seen is a Rift Herald, you know? Like, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, the Lucian doing not bad, but has to flash. Wasn't going to kill the Syndra if he didn't have flash there, by the way, because also the Fiora had completed her ultimate, therefore she was healing her teammates. She does go aggressive, but a little bit too far, unfortunately, that the Aphelios got away. And this was a nice E. If he didn't have cleanse, he was also dead, and that will be the fight in itself. So, but what I mentioned, I'm a prophet. I see the future, apparently. Rengar returning straight back to the dragon. And yeah, what the hell, Knight's Vow Rengar? What? Am I missing something? Why the hell is this guy building full tank Rengar? It's so weird. Like, what? Again, if you guys don't know, you're new to the channel. Why is Huzzy's logo kind of a cybernetic lion? My logo used to be Rengar, basically, and I adapted it to be my own, and it became the cybernetic lion. I used to be quite a well-known Rengar player in my day, and I know tank Rengar. I played tank Rengar, because I played anything Rengar. But in modern-day League of Legends, I don't get it. I just don't. That's very weird. It obviously must be good, because otherwise you won't be having it in a Worlds final. But I just think of the job that Rengar is looking to do, I just think there's better thing in the tank position. I think in jungle, there's just better versions. There's better things than going tank Rengar, especially running Knight's Vow. And obviously, he did this on Shen, by the way, as well. Maybe, again, I didn't see bans. Shen must have been banned, question mark? Because this guy's basically playing Rengar as he is Shen. Kinda. So it's very weird. But anyway, vision score, you can see the Thresh absolutely miles ahead of everybody, really. The Rengar having more vision score than the Leona. And, yeah, not bad at all. But yeah, very actually impressive vision score by the Thresh. He's also bought a Mikhail's first item, which is kind of crazy. The Aphelios has got Cleanse. And then the first item for Thresh is basically the item version of Cleanse. They are really worried about him getting CC'd, like, by the Leona, I guess. Like, very worried. So, yeah. Anything item build worth noting? Fiora is starting to build her Triforce, actually having a really good start to the game. 102, 190 farm before 20 minutes. Syndra doing okay. You know, again, not expecting her to win the early game versus a Lucian, obviously. So she's doing fine, has got her Ludens now. Jhin also slightly behind the Aphelios, which that isn't too great. But obviously we did see him get killed by the Evelynn earlier in the game. Rengar ulting. He, by the way, does see this Evelynn. Rengar is a kind of natural counter to Evelynn because when he ults, he does see invisible targets. And they obviously know now that she's around, which arguably just saved the Syndra's life. Fiora and the Ornn still going to just kind of tickle each other every now and then. It's much of a muchness right now. Ornn won't kill Fiora. Ornn's probably too tanky for Fiora at the moment in the game. So they'll tickle each other and they'll both regen, and that'll be probably about it. Bot lane is now mid lane, apparently. So both AD carry and support pair in mid. Thresh looking for the hook because the Evelynn was nearby. And it's the battle of the control wards at the moment. So, yeah. I'm actually very interested, by the way, to see what the Rengar build in now is going to happen. Is he going to build Black Cleaver now? Is he going to continue building tank? I don't know. It interests me a lot, though. Evelynn buying a Banshee's Veil, by the way, early, has to. Like you just saw in that last fight, she just got owned. That is the weakness of Evelynn. Obviously known to be a very strong champion. A lot of people actually really dislike the champion. But if you do have cat-like reflexes and you have great CC, and obviously these players are the best players in the world, they'll be able to react quick. You just CC an Evelynn and she'll die. So she has to have that Banshee. Lucian runs into a Rengar. Look at that. Rengar nearly killed a Lucian with building full tank. So there has always been, and there is, by the way, enemy team going very aggressive because I guess they have to. Jhin gets caught out. Leona also against 4 people. Fiora on her way. Damwon could be in trouble here. They're getting completely turned around. Fiora needs to get into this fight. Leona re-engaging. Stopwatch actually happening for the Thresh, but Fiora's going to clean if they're not careful here, the enemy team, potentially. They're doing a good job at the moment. They actually positioned well and stopped the enemy team getting in. And that was, I would say, a good survival by them because that could have gone very bad. I'm surprised that Fiora couldn't actually get into the middle of them there. But, yeah, it wasn't to be. And, yeah, Jhin does die, having a rougher game so far. But this is the Lucian. Rengar was just kind of waiting. And Lucian, so again, full tank Rengar, over half health. I know it's an AD carry, so he is kind of squishy, but still, like, to me, and the way that my brain works, you building full tank, you shouldn't really do any damage. Still quite a lot of damage. Anyway, that is the gold for the game. So, earlier in the game, Suning was a little bit ahead, at like pre-5 minutes to just after 5 minutes. But then from 6 minutes onwards, Damwon has had the gold lead. And they have the gold lead right now of roughly 3,000 gold. But, as we mentioned, again, role reverse of game 1, Suning have 3 dragons. This next dragon is spawning in 4, 3, 2, 1, is actually Dragon Soul. It's Dragon Soul for Suning, which is kind of crazy. This is Wind Dragon. Is it called Wind Dragon? Cloud Dragon, that's the one. Which obviously is still an okay dragon. It's not like Infernal, but you want to have the soul. So this is a big fight. Fiora in a 2v1, actually getting caught out a little bit too early and taking half of her health. This player, I will say, this Bin person, has a tendency to be alone as a top laner. And getting caught a little bit at the beginning of the fight. Oh, this is bad. This is bad for Suning, man. Evelynn goes in early, doesn't get anything. They're all low health. Leona surviving for now, will go down in the end, and that dragon will go over to Damwon. Not a complete disaster. Again, they are still 1 dragon away, so as long as they get the next one, or even the one after that, they will still get the Dragon Soul. But unfortunately for them, it's not a clean Dragon Soul like it was for Damwon earlier, or the first game, where obviously Damwon got the first 4 dragons, and that gave them the soul basically instantly. Wow, no way. Are they doing Baron? They're doing Baron. Now, I don't know, by the way, if it's intentional. I don't think Wright's ever said, but has anybody ever noticed you have 0 vision of Baron, but you can still see a team doing Baron? You can see, like, animation and spell effects. I've always found that really weird. It can't be intentional. Anyway, enemy team going very aggressive. Lucian getting a double kill. Don't think the enemy team expected, basically, the aggression level. And Fiora does pick up 1 kill, which is the tank. That should stop the Baron, so I'd expect Suning just to completely disengage. and Damwon to disengage. And that'll be the fight. It's a 2-for-2. 2-for-2. But I'd say more value over to Damwon because they killed both carries, where obviously Suning only got the top and the support. Anyway, though, Bin and Fiora will go back to top lane, continuing to farm. Is now, as you can see, starting to build that farm lead to Ornn. As we said earlier, and 20 minutes ago, Fiora does outscale on Ornn. So you will probably start to see that this game. Rengar uses his passive to block or get rid of the Thresh E. And what you're looking for here is the flank from Lucian completely caught off guard. Oh, it was the Ornn ultimate too. And yeah, the enemy team just didn't expect. The Lucian went so aggressive, even using flash into the red buff there to continue killing the Ezreal. I just think they got caught out. And obviously the Syndra really got caught out by the Ornn ultimate too. So that was good by Damwon, obviously. Game might slow down though for a couple minutes. Usually after a big fight, the team that loses it, or even this fight went even, both teams are like, right, let's reset, let's calm down. Anyway, what's happening? Oh, so he's... Oh my god, the damage! Fiora, ladies and gentlemen. Lucian, he didn't even attempt to run away. He was just like, okay, I'm going to teleport away, which was questionable. Was he teleporting to mid? I don't know what happened. He just gets owned by Fiora. He might, by the way, have been teleporting to mid and not trying to escape Fiora, because I'm pretty sure he could have run away from Fiora. But anyway, enemy team looking for an engage. Aphelios ultimate comes through, Ornn ultimate coming through. They are looking for an engage as well with Leona, but she's more just trying to help her team survive. Rengar on the back foot, Fiora making her way to mid lane. Rengar, nice dodge of the Thresh, and that might calm it down, but Fiora is here. The flank is happening. Fiora ultimate is back up, by the way. Fiora is getting stopped and exhausted. That might stop her rampage into the enemy team. Evelyn not actually being able to do that much to the Jhin, and she will go down, by the way, and she's dead. Nice shutdown. Rengar returning by himself, arguably not the best idea, and will also die in the end. This game's nuts. Again, what I would say is so far it has not been any stomps. Game 1 wasn't a stomp. It was a 40-minute game. Game 2, this is very close. Within 2,000 gold at 27 minutes. Dragons, obviously, are quite a key component of this game. This is good. Normally, World Finals are quite boring. So this one's actually been quite exciting so far. And that's why I also, when I didn't watch the World Final live, I streamed after it. And then I said to my stream, hey, was it actually good? And then everyone was like, oh, no, yeah, you should make the videos. It was quite exciting. And I can see why. So obviously the Aphelios surviving with double summoners, also using the Thresh exhaust on the Fiora to help him and save him. And yeah, the Evelyn just didn't get any traction really on the Jhin. No one-shot potential. She might have killed the Syndra or something. I don't really know. The Syndra's alive. Don't know what the Evelyn did. Not sure. Anyway, game continuing. Aphelios very strong, by the way, this game. He has got a massive farm advantage over the Jhin. Arguably, maybe that's too big of a farm advantage that the Jhin should not be giving the Aphelios. But Dragon, by the way, is spawning less than a minute. So this will be the next, I would say, big fight. I wouldn't think a team is going to go for Baron when Dragon Soul is potentially going to happen. The only thing I may predict is maybe Suning does Baron, because they're like, right, let them have another dragon. We're still leading the dragons and it gives us Baron. But I still don't see that happening. Fiora going aggressive, shut down by Leona. Nice pick on the Aphelios, knowing that, obviously, nice stun. Knowing that he has no summoners because he used both summoners to survive last fight. Nice Ornn ultimate with a random weird hook. Lucian getting 1 kill, Evelyn getting 2, but the enemy team going quite deep for getting those, which will then give the re-engage to the team. Fiora looking for it as much as she can. Thresh hook survives, or makes the Evelyn survive. And now Suning on the back foot. Still probably slight advantage to them because of health. Obviously, though, Evelyn will regen because for some reason that champion has a regen passive as a assassin. That's always confused me. Rengar holding position. Don't engage, don't engage, don't engage. Okay, he's going away. Oh, he's looking to just hold them for the Jhin doing the dragon. That's weird. This is a 50-50. I'm not sure this is the best idea. W from thingy. Rengar going to hold his passive for the charm, probably. It is fading. 50-50 dragon. This is for Dragon Soul. Here we go with the W. And Rengar gets it. Dragon Soul Suning. Jhin going aggressive with that flash. And now they have run out of damage. And this now is going to be a little bit of a clean for Suning. And depending how many people die, this could be Baron with the momentum shift to Suning after getting it. Aphelios going aggressive. They need to go for him as a team. Leona with the CC with the Rengar who doesn't die. Thresh going to run away. They shouldn't go for this, and they should just go get the Baron, as now they have 5 people up. Enemy team of 3 dead. They have the Dragon Soul, and there we go. Holy moly, dudes. This is a good game. But already, as I said a little bit earlier, meanwhile, Lucian, having a little bit of a roam, seeing what he can do, gets absolutely obliterated to the Fiora, as he naturally would. She has now also, by the way, completed her Death's Dance. So we're also going to be taking reduced damage with more healing. Yeah, this game's good. But I said earlier that this, to me, is showing how important dragons are. And I'm not sure I like that or not. Fiora is looking for the kill on the Thresh. They are just kind of stopping any chance for the enemy team to go stop the Baron. It's like, focus us, not the Baron, and that will give the Baron. You notice the Baron's killed, and these two run away because they did their job. They are like, you know, look at us, we're the distraction instead of heading over there. But that will obviously, like last game, one team has got Dragon Soul. It now leaves the Elder Dragon. Damwon is not out of this game at all. Okay, we got the perspective from a player here. This is Rengar. He gets the smite. Really cool, by the way. Anything like, oh, I want to see. Oh, no, it doesn't. Does it show keybinds at all? No, they don't have the setting on to show keybinds. That's annoying. I'd love to see what they've actually running, but you can see this guy just doesn't die. Very quick mouse, though. I would say his DPI on his mouse is actually quite high. But anyway, that was interesting to see. And you can see, you know, the back crowd. This is Su Ning's camp, and they're getting more excited, and there's the big cheers from their team, which is kind of cool. And this guy's having a lovely time. It's good to see. I like it. Anyway, that's the gold as we saw earlier. Honestly, this game so far has just been game 1, but roles reversed with that dragon pressure, with the gold lead going to the enemy team. And then with the Dragon Soul, boom, the strength of the game starts to flip because you can't ignore Dragon Soul. Baron play with Red Bull. Okay, that's a thing. Obviously reminding people, me doing this, I'm not sponsored by any of the sponsors that you're seeing on the stream now. But as a courtesy, because Right's allowing me doing this, I'm not going to block those sponsors as well. Because I think that would be a bit rude. So, yeah. Anyway, in the top right, by the way, you can see the Baron play at the moment for Su Ning has actually given them plus 2,600 gold so far. So that's the value that they're actually getting out of this Baron. That's quite a lot of gold. It's actually given them the gold lead, obviously. Not by a crazy amount. Obviously, the enemy team, meanwhile, Rengar's engaging. They do find the Thresh, who is going to go down. Fiora, by the way, using her ultimate, as we mentioned in last game. Do not be fussy with who you're getting a pick on in late game. If it's the support, that's still good. You want number advantage, and that will give a kill over, and now potentially breaking the base advantage to Su Ning. I've got hiccups apparently again. Jin with his final shot is looking for a big auto. Not probably going to get it. But as we mentioned, the enemy team does have Ornn. That is going to give scaling to the late game. You can see both Lucian and Aphelios have got a empowered Infinity Edge, which is still quite a strong thing. But because they are missing a number, they have to back off and concede the inhibitor for their mid, which is a pretty big deal. You know, opening mid is then going to give the pressure to Su Ning. They can go 4 top, 1 bot. Fiora now is late game Fiora. It's going to be incredibly hard to kill her. I think Ornn probably wouldn't in a 1v1. Ornn, by the way, is 2 levels down to the Fiora. She's 18 already, and it's going to be very hard to recover this, honestly, I think, for Damwon. So at least, well, I don't want to jinx it, but at least this isn't a 3-0 stomp world, because that's good, because, again, normally it is a 3-0 stomp world. Anything worth noting in item build? So Lucian's making his way to late game Lucian as much as he can. Aphelios is quite strong this game, actually, if he can get his damage down. Jin also making his way too, is going to get another crit item. Syndra obviously has high damage, most likely. Well, she's even going to go as Zonya next, which I presume she would. And then going to her death cap probably after. And then, yeah, Fiora actually having a little bit of AD. So probably going to build a Randuin's on that Fiora. Why? Well, the 2 main damage threats, as we mentioned, the Evelynn isn't really that big of a deal. She's 1 AP damage. She's not probably going to kill everybody versus the difference between the AD carries. So building anti-crit item when both of them have got crit is quite a big counter. Anyway, fight's happening. Enemy team on the back foot has already used Ornn ultimate, reminding people. Jin ultimate over the top. Fiora is looking a little bit feisty, but nothing major so far. That was a Syndra ultimate. First kill by the Fiora. Second kill by Fiora. With her ultimate already procced. Enemy team on the back foot. Aphelios flashing. Not in the way. Somehow Fiora got a triple kill. Wait a minute. Is it going to happen? Final kill. Another kill. Quadra kill. Are they going to give it? And a Pentakill in Worlds! World's final pentakill from Fiora, the champion that has a great mid to late game, as we mentioned. Not normally known for her team fights, but does a very good job, and they do get a pentakill in World. So there we go. That was a really good game. 1-1 in the series. Again, I can't stress enough, it does seem to be dragons are the big thing. Whoever gets the Dragon Soul, like, hell, I'd love the actual statistic throughout Worlds. Did any team lose a game that had Dragon Soul? I probably doubt it, if any. Maybe there was a couple, but maybe Dragon Soul's too strong. I don't know. But anyway, that's going to be it. If you guys enjoyed this, throw a like on the video, throw a comment, throw a subscribe. Thanks for all the support as always, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.